Quarantined Comedian. Hello, my name is Ali Weinstein and this is Quarantined Comedian, the show where we connect you to comedians all over the world in quarantine and see how they're doing. Today we're reaching out to the faraway land of Iceland to meet up with today's guest, Helgi Steinar. Helgi was once so in awe with presidential elections that he wrote a letter to Bill Clinton. Unlike most men, Helgi is unimpressed with the younger Bush. Hello, Helgi.
Hey, Helena, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good, good. Well, you know, I wish we had shows, but everything's.
It's true.
I guess we're sort of just slowly losing our minds, sitting at home watching a redneck kick a tiger.
Do you have quarantine in Iceland, or are you self-isolating? Yeah. What do you do?
Well, it's actually kind of funny because we have. So I was reading that the first person in Iceland was fined today 50,000 kronas, which is like I don't know, I guess like 25,000 rubles for not refusing to self-isolate. So up until now, it's been sort of if you come back from another country to Iceland, you have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Icelanders don't take this very seriously. Like all the news have just been saying that how good we've been doing this whole quarantine thing. Like, oh yes, we've tested It's like because we have like 15 people.
You have great health care.
Yeah, but it's easier when you have 13 people in the whole country. So.
Fair enough.
But the mentality. But the mentality of the people here is just like, no, I want to go out to my summer house. I want to go out and, Icelanders, we're not very good at listening to authority.
I feel right at home. Okay, are you ready to start with our round number 1 questions?
Yes, I am.
Round number 1, the about. Our round number 1 is introduction. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from. What's your style of comedy? When did you start doing comedy? This sort of things.
Okay, well, hi everyone. Hello, my name is Helgi Steinar. I feel like I'm a casting couch here. So I started stand-up comedy in 2014 when I was a student at Beijing University. So. I work on the side. I guess I work comedy on the side. My full-time job is I work at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
China is notoriously well known for being
for taking a joke. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw when South Park made fun of them. They held them a parade. No, I always say sort of in my stand-up that it's a little bit different doing comedy in a country like China as opposed to here. You know, here if I'm not funny on stage, people just don't laugh. China, you just get arrested. So it's a very, very different sort of thing. I guess Russians would laugh at that as well. So I started in 2014. I've been doing it now about 6 years. My style is sort of, I guess, observational. I mean, the thing I really focus on in my act is always the stereotypes of countries. So it's sort of, I guess if a diplomat did comedy is sort of what I embody. I like sort of, most of the stuff I tell is, stories from the road, my experiences in Ukraine, Russia, that kind of stuff. Really just the things that countries are most embarrassed about is the thing I bring to light on stage.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I will also ask you to tell us a little bit of a story, to introduce yourself as a comedian with a story. Tell us the story of when you used being a comedian as your flirting technique.
Oh.
Have you ever gotten a woman with comedy?
I don't know. I mean, a woman wouldn't tell me that's the reason. Well, I feel like that would be something so embarrassing. Like a woman has never said that during sex that like, oh yes, tell me a joke. Oh, you're so funny. I feel that
would be an insult during sex if she asks you to tell you a joke. I don't think she's very into it.
No, I'm bored. Tell me something funny. No, it's that's sort of what I always feel like when a girl has a back tattoo. That's because that's exactly what a guy wants when he's doing it from behind, something to read. No, I don't know. I've never. I guess you could say this one time. In Ukraine once, there was a girl who was very, very into me after a show,
Because
And
Ukrainian girls need more stimulation with foreign guys, of course.
I guess, yeah. Or, I mean, I guess she was trying to dig up some dirt on Russia. I mean, who knows with Ukraine these days? No, but she was very into my material, and the material was that I was making a lot of fun of Russia. Now, this was during the Sea of Azarov thing, so you have to imagine that there was a lot of tension between the two countries. But yeah, no, she definitely, I could tell right there and then she was into the material, so to speak.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. So you got yourself a Ukrainian girlfriend?
No, well, I mean, for the time being, when I was in Kiev for 6 days, you know.
Did she cook something nice for you?
Uh, no, but we did have some Georgian food. That is probably the thing I miss the most from traveling. I mean, I will admit, I have on occasion, when I'm, I come home drunk from the bar or whatever, from shows, literally just browse Duhop to see how much a flight to either Kiev or somewhere in Eastern Europe would cost just so I could get
Georgian
Kinkali Kachapuri. Like, that is just...
So I guess Georgian food is yours, the one that got away.
Yeah, that's my cruel mistress that I would do anything for. I mean, it's because here's the thing: is that you think of European cuisine, it's always French food, Italian food. I feel like Georgian food is like this one really well kept secret that only people in Eastern Europe know about. And then when you have it for the first time, it's just, it's like that scene from
mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like that scene from Harry Met Sally when she just has an orgasm in the middle of the restaurant.
Over a sandwich, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Hey, sauce on the side. I'm dressing on the side, yeah. Okay, this was all for round number 1. Are you ready for the round number 2?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, round number 2, truth serum. In the round number 2, I will ask you to answer truthfully, yet hopefully hilariously. I'm sorry, I have this condition called numb mouth. I will ask you to tell us something about yourself with this carefully crafted questions that are only about you. Do it truthfully, do it funny, because it's a comedic show. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Ready or not, here I come. Okay, you essentially work for Icelandic government, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was the Ukrainian president's story is the one that inspired you to go the political route?
No, it wasn't the inspiration, but it definitely didn't hurt. We have there are actually more comedians who end up becoming politicians than we know about. Jón Gnarr is probably the one that inspired me the most. The Icelandic mayor of Reykjavik back in many years ago. He was like the very famous comedian in Iceland who became a mayor. And of course, there's Al Franken, the senator from Minnesota, the state I grew up in, actually. And actually, the Faraway minister or member of parliament in the Danish parliament, he's a stand-up comedian as well.
That's cool. That's really cool. So will we see you one day running for president?
Well, the president of Iceland doesn't do much. He's just sort of a figurehead. He's like the king. But we have a prime minister who is sort of in charge. And I don't know. I mean, I do see myself more as a. Well,
I didn't say you will be a president of Iceland.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? I mean, that could be nice revenge. That Russia puts Trump in office, and then somebody in Ukraine puts me in office in Russia.
See, I stole this idea from Maria Fedulova that we did interview with prior to this. But it would be nice to see us prime minister. I will have one prime minister in my phone book. That will be really good for me.
I sort of have this this fantasy in my head of just going on a state visit to Ukraine, to visit to see the other, and just thinking, like we're about to have a state dinner. I'm just like, hey, we should do a show.
I would love that. So in 20 years, all right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, that means you got to run as well. You got to run for a political office in Russia, which I've heard goes very, very well for political opponents in Russia. Also
women. It goes really well for women.
Yeah, just stay off the bridges in Moscow.
I'll try to. Okay, are you ready for second one? Second one is kind of strange, interesting. I was researching common myths about Iceland. And apparently, one common myth is that Icelandic government pays foreign men to marry Icelandic women.
No, why? Okay.
So my question is, wait for it. What kind of a breeding farm did you construct there, and where is your father from?
Okay, first of all, Icelandic women can always tell when this meme is being circulated because their Facebook gets flooded with men from mostly Turkey who just keep messaging them like, "Hello, beautiful, hello." They think they've hit the jackpot. And no, so we don't. There is no plan to.
Where's this myth came from?
I mean, it's the internet. Who knows? You know, it's I have no idea, but I guess it's because everyone in the world always has this pie in the sky idea of what Iceland is. You know, oh, we pay our women equally. Oh, it's this utopian paradise of welfare and socialism, and it's actually not. Everything we've done sort of well has been because of how few people we have.
That's because among 13 people, there are probably 6 women, and they can take you down if
exactly.
You don't like something.
See, that's the thing. And if Icelanders, if we were 5 million people in Iceland, first of all, if there were 5 million Icelanders on this planet, I would not want to live on this planet. But if there were 5 million Icelanders, there's no way in hell we could do this. We're way too selfish. And I say this with love, but this is so true about our people. We just cannot get along. It's actually impressive to see what's going on with the quarantine now. Everyone's waiting in line. Everyone's very respectful. I never thought I would see that with my own country.
But that's very nice. See, quarantine is bringing something nice to your knowledge of your people. Hey.
Yeah,
but you still did not answer my question. Where's your father from?
What kind of breeding farm?
It was a two-parter. It was about a breeding farm. Have you ever seen a breeding farm in Iceland for people?
Well, like with horses?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I have, but I mean, I wasn't aware that.
Not for horses, for people.
Yeah, we call them dance clubs.
Okay, fair enough. And where's your father from?
My father, he's from the dance club that's open till 5.
Okay, have your mother ever saw him after 5?
He's from Reykjavik. He's from Reykjavik.
He's from?
From Reykjavik.
Oh, from Reykjavik.
Yeah.
Okay, both of your parents are.
Yeah, my family is like 5-6 generations Reykjavik born, so nice. I always get a hard time when I go out into the countryside and do shows. You know, there's that. I guess Russia is probably the same thing. You know, if you're from St. Pete or Moscow and you go to, I don't know, the middle of nowhere, Ostok, and you get that sort of, oh yes, look at this fancy man with his clothes.
Hopefully nobody from Rostov is watching us. Also, probably there are no English schools in Rostov, so we're fine. Okay, the last one. Are you ready for the last one?
Yep.
Okay, the last one. Did you become a comedian because Icelandic government salary is not enough?
Yes, you got me. Because as you can tell now, we comedians are just completely, like, we don't know what to do with all the money from the shows.
I know, right? I started this show.
See, this is. I think this is a lesson for all of us. Not just in, because the thing is, like, we always keep thinking, oh, you know what? I'm doing all these shows and stuff. I can't wait till I get a little break so I can just start writing again. And then we go, and then this happens, and we're just sitting at home, I don't know, watching Tiger King or just, eating potato chips and not doing any. Yeah, but the thing is, we need the shows and the tours and everything to keep the brain going.
There's a little thing called Grey's Anatomy. I highly suggest. There are 16 seasons. You will get to another year, no problem.
Is that just arrived in Russia?
No. My grandmother was a big fan, and she died a year ago. So, wow.
Oh,
that turned very dark very soon.
Speaking of this man right here, you were mentioning him in the beginning. There's a fun story about him when Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, meets him once, and they go, "Hey, Mr. President Clinton, this is Seth MacFarlane. He's the creator of Family Guy." Like, "Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that show, but I'll tell you what I do like is that Grey's Anatomy."
See, the Shondaland is everywhere. Okay.
It is.
This was it for round number 2. Are you ready for the round number 3? That's going to be a lightning round. Yeah, good. Round 3, classic lightning round. I love how you panically asked at the last minute what's it gonna be. This is a classic lightning round. So what I do is I give you a setup or a construct of a classic joke, and basically in 10 seconds you come up with your own joke on that basis.
God, I wish I wasn't hungover for this. Okay.
You ready? So this joke or this construct is usually used when you have a little bit of a wordplay you want to involve in it. So the construct is, if I were a blip, I would only blip. Timer 10 seconds on the clock. You get 10 seconds to think and then come up with a joke.
So I just have to come up with any sort of a noun or verb, or just to make a
Sure. Then make it funny.
Okay. So this
seconds.
goes with everything, right? This is just. Is this the same format for every joke?
Yeah. No, it's not. We have more formats. We have more setups. But yes, this is generally like you get the setup, you get 10 seconds, and then you answer. So
Okay.
if I were a blip, I would only blip.
Okay. If I were a train, I would not sleep with my mom.
Why not?
Well, because she's got places to go, and the train. If she sleeps with him, then the train's going to be late at every station. So.
Yeah. Just overall not very polite of him. Hey.
Yeah. No, it's disrespectful to the passengers. It's disrespectful to mothers everywhere. I mean.
Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, the second one for you is a construct of a very classic knock-knock joke. Come up with a knock-knock joke, 10 seconds on the clock, it's running.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein who?
Harvey Weinstein. Hopefully, they're not the one that's related to you.
I've actually had a person come to my show just because I was a Weinstein. He wanted to figure out if we were related or not.
I mean, hey, Jews got to stick together, That's.
Yeah, it's called Broadway. And
Yeah.
it's mostly gays in there. I have no place.
No, not even in Hollywood.
I have to talk to my uncle.
That's a nice way of saying agent.
Well, the agents, uncles,
Lawyers.
Ankles, lawyers, who else? Accountants, a lot of that.
There you go.
Yeah. What's typically Icelandic profession?
Wow. That's. I mean, there's fisherman and farmer, but I guess that's sort of the stereotype. I guess football player would probably be the professional.
That's good. Okay. Are you ready for your third one?
Yep.
Very classic as well. How many blips does it take to screw in a light bulb? 10 seconds.
How many people from China does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Whatever the government says it is!
Okay. I'll take that one as well. And this is all for round number 3. You've done great, actually.
Okay,
Thank you
cheers.
for that. So these are all the rounds that we have for our show. And now you have 5 seconds to look at your camera and say anything, shout out or promote anything into the camera or give a message to people that are watching us.
Hey guys,
Cool.
Hey guys, for all of you who are missing traveling and the world, I do a TV series on YouTube called Unplugged Borders, and the Russia episode is actually going to be coming out in the next few days, so keep open for that. Check me out on YouTube, on Twitter. My handle is Helgi Stones. That includes Instagram as well. Thank you so much. Привет, как дела?
Well,
I guess it should be done.
We're mostly targeting, English audience, but will I be on that show?
Yes, you will. Yeah, the interview
No
I did.
way!
Yeah,
I'll
the
finally see that interview.
Yeah, it went great, by the way. Like the angle and everything, and the lighting that was at the bar.
I was a
in
little
St. Pete.
drunk, so that helped the answers a lot.
Look, that interview is amazing, by the way. It's going to be great.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to this. You will get all the links to Helgi's Instagrams and Facebook and YouTube down below. And thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, it's pleasure's
Thank
all
you so
mine.
much for sitting down with me, even with the time difference that we caught each other. Thank you so much for answering my questions, and it's just been lovely to see you.
Hey, anything for you, Ellie. Lovely to see you too. Thank you so much.
And this was Helgi Steinar, and he's incredible. Check out his links down below. I'm your host, Ellie Weinstein, and next time we're going to tune in with a different comedian around the world, from somewhere around the world in quarantine, and ask him some tough questions, or her. I don't see gender. I don't. See you next time, and subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment. I'll see you next time. Quarantined comedian.